keeping them cancelled.
Mira, Iván, más, mira.
Now we're coming up on Alcatraz Island, better known as the Rock. Alcatraz was once the most dangerous U.S. penal system. You had to commit a serious crime and be a major threat to the safety of other prisoners in order to get sent to the Rock. One of those prisoners is here to tell this story. Leon Whitey Thompson.
The day that I was on the boat sailing over to Alcatraz, I had like a flashback of the days when I was in Alaska. I heard a lot about Alcatraz when they first opened it up. And I never dreamed that one day I would be on a boat sailing to the island to become a resident of Rock myself.
Thompson had already spent 10 years in prison for armed robbery when he made that trip. He would spend another 4 years at Alcatraz.
I can't say I was scared. I wasn't scared. It was just a real eerie feeling. I felt like the guy was throwing things on the ground. It was just like a fighting experience. That's the way I felt.
ويا ريت يكون اخر الدراما. لا انا كده بعرف. انا كده ميت. مين هيركب لك الكاميرات يا ولد؟ دورك انت مع والثلاجة اللي ركبتها في الفلتر لغاية دلوقتي عشان اطلب البلاش.
Inmates spent most of their time in their cells or at their work assignments. The prison had some districts like a furniture shop, a place where the inmates made brushes, and a tailor shop. Other work assignments, like the laundry, kept the place running. You can see some of the laundry buildings along the shoreline. Above them, on top of the hill, is the prison's water tower. Alcatraz really is a rock. It has no water of its own, so even today it has to be shipped over from the mainland. Now, look at the big building way up on top of the hill. That's the cell. These cells are rows and rows of prison cells. So small that they can barely stretch out. Rules are strict. For much of each day, inmates weren't allowed to talk. Letters and watches could only visit 2 hours per month. The psychological toll said to make new men.
The routine is what's killing me. It's nuts. You know, every day is the same thing. If you ask me what I did last Thursday, I couldn't tell you. That's what days all mean.
There were a lot of guards at Alcatraz. In fact, one for every 3 inmates. Prison guard Maurice Morris Ordway worked at Alcatraz almost the entire time it was in operation. He spent some of his time in lookout towers, like the one you see near the shore. Inmates either paid or were allowed to spend a few hours outdoors. Some played softball or dominoes. Others just sat around.
So-called bleachers of the earth. People who sit and fall. Or maybe they get you walking around. You don't know what we're talking about. Plan to escape or something. But that's the yard for you.
The prison's location, so near the life of the city, didn't help much either. The bright lights of the city could seem almost close enough to touch.
I was out in the yard with maybe a couple of friends of mine, and started talking about a couple of chicks that ran wild with or something. I used to walk away. I don't want to hear all that. Because all you're doing is hurting yourself. I remember when I could see out the window at nighttime. It was my birthday. The lights over there was like looking at another world. I don't think in the 4 years I was there, I looked out that window more than 2 or 3 times. I I became pretty hard in that respect, blocking things out.
Some of the ruins you see along the shoreline were once homes for correctional officers, their wives, and their children. That's right, a generation of children grew up on Alcatraz. They took a ferry to San Francisco every morning to go to school. The same ferry that, on the way back, might be carrying new inmates. Over the years, there were 36 escape attempts, but only 3 inmates were successful. They were the Anglin brothers, who escaped in 1962 by using kitchen spoons to spread the bars of ventilators on the back of their cells. They crawled under the fence, made it to the shoreline, and slipped into the icy waters. It was a 1.5-mile swim to the mainland. Beautiful boys in the dry, when they get to land, no one knows for sure, but they would never say goodbye. Ironically, dozens of hardy swimmers now cross this distance regularly in competitions such as the yearly Escape from Alcatraz. Now, look up at the top of the hill. See the lighthouse? That was the first one in California. The burnt-out structure next to it was the warden's house. Maurice Ordway remembers what the warden told him when he arrived at Alcatraz.
We were all lined up and he made a little speech. He said, you people are making history. Don't ever forget it. This place will go down in history as one of the most popular prisons that will ever be open.
Alcatraz cost a lot to keep open, so the government closed it in 1963. Deserted, the island returned to its original inhabitants, the Alcatraces, which is Spanish for pelicans. It remained empty until 1969, when a group of Native Americans occupied it. Did you see some of their graffiti as we passed the island? The Native Americans said that an 1868 Sioux Treaty gave them the right to claim any federal land not in use. The U.S. government disagreed. They fought the treaty in court and won the case in 1971. Ever since, Alcatraz has been a national park. You can visit and take a tour of the cell block.
For maritime security reasons, we will need to close the restrooms 10 minutes prior to landing at Pier 43.5. If needed, please be sure to use the restrooms now.
Now, we look over at the far shore of the bay, away from Alcatraz. Directly ahead along the East Bay shoreline is the town of Berkeley, the home of the original campus of the University of California, one of the most respected public university systems in the world. On a clear day, you can see the slender tower, which is the Campanile, the bell tower that serenades the student body every day at noon. To the right of Berkeley is the city of Oakland, one of the busiest shipping ports on the West Coast. The hills above both towns is a scene of another part of life in California, wildfire. After the long, dry summers around here, the native grasses are tender, waiting to be torched by the slightest spark. On a bright October afternoon in 1991, that's just what happened. In minutes, the sky turned a dark, smoky black. Sheets of fire rolled down the